So, you're thinking about starting a construction company in South Africa. It's a massive field with some serious opportunity. But here's the secret. The real foundation you're going to build isn't made of concrete. It's made of paperwork. And over the next few minutes, we're going to lay out the exact blueprint you need to get it right. I mean, you look around, right? You see the new skyline, the housing developments popping up, all the infrastructure projects, and you think, hey, I can do that. I can build that. And you know what? That's an incredible ambition. It's a chance to literally shape the world around you. And this is the absolute heart of what we're talking about today. Before you even think about pouring a single bag of cement, you have to pour over the paperwork. This administrative foundation, this is what's going to support your entire business. Get this right, and you're building on solid rock. It's that simple. So here's our game plan. First, we'll draft the initial business blueprint. Then, we'll lay down that legal foundation and get the industry-specific keys you'll need. After that, it's all about protecting your team, which is crucial. And finally, building a reputation that helps you win bigger and better projects. Ready? Let's dive in. All right, Section 1, the business blueprint. This is where it all begins. It's about taking that spark of an idea, that dream you have, and turning it into a real official company that's ready to get to work. Okay, so let's break it down into 5 basic steps. First, you've got to do your market research. Find your niche, see where the money is. Then you turn that research into a rock-solid business plan. That's literally your roadmap. From there, you make it official. Register the business, get your licenses sorted, and of course, secure the funding you need to get tools on the ground. You know, what's kind of wild is just how accessible this first official step is. To register your business with the CIPC, that's the Companies and Intellectual Property Commission, is surprisingly affordable. We're talking just 50 Rand to reserve your company name and then another 125 Rand to register it as a PTY Limited. That's it. That's your official entry ticket into the industry. Okay, let's move on to Section 2, laying the legal foundation. Your company is officially registered. That's a huge step. But now you've got to build the legal framework around it to make sure you're compliant and ready for business, especially when it comes to taxes. Think of this checklist as your golden ticket for winning the big contracts. You absolutely have to be registered with SARS and have a tax clearance certificate to prove it. Your BBBE certificate is critical for tenders. And getting onto the central supplier database, that's how you get in the door for government work. And a quick heads up, once your annual turnover crosses that 1 million Rand mark, that registration becomes compulsory. Now for Section 3. This is where we get the real keys to the kingdom. These aren't just general business rules anymore. Nope. These are the mandatory registrations that unlock your ability to actually operate and grow within the South African construction industry. Okay, so this is super important to get right. You've got 2 main players, the CIDB and the NHBRC. Think of it this way. The CIDB is your gateway to government projects. They grade your company, and that grade decides how big of a public tender you can bid on. The NHBRC, on the other hand, is all about building homes. If you're in residential construction, this is non-negotiable. It's about protecting homeowners and ensuring quality. 2 very different bodies, both vital. And this table just breaks it down perfectly. To get a Grade 2 rating, which lets you bid on jobs up to 1 million Rand, you need to show you've completed a contract worth at least 130,000 Rand. But now, look at the jump to Grade 5. To even be considered for 10 million Rand projects, you need a much bigger track record, significant turnover, and a healthy amount of available capital. It's simple. Your experience directly unlocks bigger and bigger opportunities. Now, for the NHBRC, you're looking at an initial registration fee of about 745 Rand. But here's the thing, it's not just about paying a fee. You also have to pass a technical assessment test to prove you actually know your stuff. After that, there's an annual fee to stay registered. It's a real commitment to quality. Our blueprint now brings us to something absolutely critical. Section 4, protecting your people. Construction is a high-risk industry. Your team is your single most valuable asset, and keeping them safe isn't just a nice idea, it's a legal and a moral requirement. Every single construction site, by law, it needs a site-specific health and safety file. And the cost? Well, listen to this quote. It can range from 1,000 all the way up to 20,000 Rand, depending on the project's complexity. This is one area you just cannot cut corners on. It protects your workers, and it protects your business. And a massive part of that safety file is proving you're compliant with something called COIDA. That's the Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act. Basically, it's the law that makes sure your employees are covered if they get injured or sick on the job. And just so we're crystal clear, this isn't optional. It is absolutely mandatory. So the big question is, how do you prove you're compliant with COIDA? With this little document right here, the letter of good standing. It's a certificate that basically says, yep, this company is registered and all their payments are up to date. Without this letter, it's nearly impossible to win any major contracts. Think of it as your passport to do business. Look, let's be real, navigating all this government paperwork can be a total headache, especially when you're just starting out. That's why a lot of new companies use a third-party service. For around 1,800 Rand, you can have a specialist handle the whole COIDA registration and get you that crucial first letter of good standing. It frees you up to focus on what you actually do best, building things. All right, we have made it to the final section of our blueprint, building your reputation. You've laid the foundation. You're compliant, you're safe. That's great. But just being compliant doesn't win you jobs. A great reputation does. So how do you build one in such a competitive market? Well, here's a serious power-up. Join an industry association like the Master Builders. Just look at these benefits. You get access to legal advice, you can network with other pros, you get daily tender info sent straight to you, and you get discounts on training. Plus, being able to slap their logo on your Baki or website, that's instant credibility with clients. It shows you're a serious player. And you might be thinking, okay, so what's this going to cost me? Well, for a small business, it's actually really reasonable. We're talking just over 2,500 Rand for the whole year. You shouldn't see this as a cost. See it for what it is, a strategic investment in your company's growth and its reputation. So there you have it, the complete blueprint, from that first flicker of an idea all the way to building real industry credibility. The foundation is solid, the plans are in your hand. The only question left is, what amazing thing are you going to build first?